All right, morning everyone. We're gonna be going live today talking about the GHD sit-up to parallel and full range of motion. This is going to be the intermediate and advanced movement to the ab mat sit-up. So you should be able to see here the GHD. I'll be going over points of performance, execution, and setup position. So we're gonna have the foot pad set up so that when you get on the GHD, your biscuits, your butt cheeks should be on the back side of this pad. So notice that I'm flexing my toes are against this pad versus pushing against the metal part. So you're locking your feet in. I'm scooching my butt, shifting my butt as far as I can on this side of the pad. The reason for this is as I go into extension, I need to make sure that I have movement of my pelvis. I want to make sure that I also can get down to the bottom or I'm not hyperextending my spine. If my butt is on top of the pad like so, it's going to put myself in a position where it's going to put a lot of external stretch on that back, So again, set up position, feet flex, hips, biscuits on the back side of this pad. If you had a line from this hard metal part going straight up, they should be on this side of the pad, depending on the type of GHD that you are using. Again, GHD stands for glute hand developer. Today we're talking about the GHD sit up to parallel and then full range of motion. My knees are going to have a slight bend in the knees, so slight flexion of the knees. Hands can be across the chest or by my side. I'll move around so you guys can see. As I go back, I'm bracing in my core, my midline. There is nothing changing in my core and back as I go to parallel. So as I lean back, I'm sitting back. I still keep that slight bend in the knee. Core is engaged nice and tight. To come up, I'm going to extend my knee joint. Then my torso is coming to follow. I'll bring my fingertips to here in terms of that full range of motion. There is going to be some slight extension and flexion of the spine, natural movement that you might see like volleyball. If I go to spike the ball, right, there's some extension and then flexion if I go to spike that volleyball. So here, same thing. There was some slight flexion rounding in the back. And then as I go down, I'm still engaging. As I get to the full range of motion, I will have that full extension at the bottom of the spine. But again, as I come up, it's knees and then body. Versus, watch this, there is no knee extension and I'm just using my abs and psoas to pull myself up. The psoas is a muscle that connects from your pelvis, if you guys can see, kind of front of the pelvis and the front side, and it crosses all the way back and attaches on your lower back. So if you are not using the extension of your knee to sit up, you will be using that muscle to pull yourself up. And if you have lower back pain, that could be a contributing factor. The other contributing factor could be that your butt is on top of the pad versus being on the back side. So again, we're going to demonstrate a little bit. I'll try to change the angle so you guys can see the bottom for the full range of motion. But again, in this position here, right, as I go to parallel, hands across my body, as I come up, extension of the knee joint, then my body follows. So a couple reps, extend the legs. It's almost like I'm jamming the back of my knee down. So notice that even here, right? So if you're on the GHD for the first time learning this movement, highly recommend you starting with ab mat sit-ups. That is a previous video that you can go check out. I just did it yesterday. That will have some information, education on the ab mat sit-up, building foundational movement with the core as you go along the intermediate and advanced. Focus on, again, extension of the knee here. So finding that movement pattern is important. Once you feel more comfortable, lean back to a 45, extend the legs, sit up. Lean back, extend the legs, sit up. It's 1, 2 versus nothing and pulling yourself up. As you get more comfortable, you can start with 10 to 15 reps. Then as you get more comfortable, you can go to full parallel, right? Even a little bit further down if you want. And then as you get more comfortable, you can get full range of motion. I'm going to go nice and slow at first, then advance it. As I go full range of motion, I'm still keeping a slight bend on my knee. I'm going to extend down, and essentially, if I have the ability, which I do with this GHD, I can hit the floor. There is some extension here, right? As I come up, then some flexion here. So I'll do a couple reps at speed so you guys can see. I'm using my core to brace my midline. Again, extension of the knee, then my torso follows. If you have a GHD where you cannot touch the floor, don't use touching the floor as a standard to make that rep full range of motion, right? Also, depending on the length of your body, I'm a taller, longer individual with longer legs and arms. I can touch the floor with my fingertips and get that full range of motion. So just be aware, also depending on the height of the machine, the GHD machine, you will obviously be able to know that you can or cannot touch the floor without that natural range of motion. So again, as I go down, slide bend in the knee, I hit that extension, fingertips touch if able. Then as I come back up, legs extend, then my body follows. And again, I always bring my hands to my feet or pad as a range of motion in terms of hitting the end full range of motion. So 2 more reps. legs, arms, legs, arms. So again, extension of that knee joint, slamming to that pad, letting this open to pull yourself back up. Now again, if you are not extending your knee joint and you're just pulling yourself up with your psoas, you will get some lower back pain issues, so be very cognizant of that. If you're new and you have never done these, I highly recommend you starting with the ab mat sit-up. That will get you getting some conditional awareness and functional awareness of your core strength, specifically your abdominals as you're sitting up. Once you get more proficient with the ab mat setup, then you can move to the GHD, do parallel, then the full range of motion. These are very potent. So start with small rep schemes, right? Like 8 to 10 reps, 10 to 15 reps, couple sets. Start with them as accessory work before you move them into a workout with high intensity. If you're doing these with high intensity, you're having to brace a lot. You will be sore if you do a lot of repetitions. So highly caution you and highly advise, again, recommendation to start with small rep scheme, and small set scheme. If you guys have any questions with that, please let me know. Leave a comment below, give me a follow. Feel free to share with other people. If there's other educational videos that you would like to see, please let me know. If you're looking for more or you're looking for a coach to take you through every step of the way, check the link below. That will take you to my landing page and you can sign up for my app. I talk about core strength, building a foundational strength with multiple programs, not only the written program, but also the video component as well. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video so much. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you guys Monday for the next video. Take care and have a great weekend.